Welcome back, troglodytes, to your daily dose of guitar information, the Trogly's Guitar Show. Let's go guitar hunting at Musician's Friend / Guitar Center, see if we can find any deals today. Because the last time we did this, we actually found a few interesting guitars. One of them had to be sent back, but the other ones, they were okay, had some weird issues with them, but let's see what we can find today. You'll notice Musician's Friend's website has changed lately. I'm not sure if I like it or not. I guess we'll have to find out. But it seems like our categories are working nicely. And starting off here right away, that is not the worst price for a Les Paul standard ever. Now, this is not one of the 50 standards. This is probably, what, a 2016? This one's a 2018. I think they call this like blood orange finish or something. There's a lot of people that really like this. For me, it's not my favorite finish in the world. I prefer the more teardrop shapes instead of rim bursts. $1,800, I'd say that's fair. Maybe you can call these guys up and haggle them down a little bit too. Sometimes you're lucky with that, other times not. This is kind of an interesting SG. That pickguard has to be replaced. That looks so strange. This is the Natural Burst. Natural Burst SGs, you know, outside of like the really classic dark cherry color, I think it has to be my favorite finish on an SG. They should really bring this one back. I'd especially like it if they did the burst on the neck and the sides of the headstock. That would be a sweet SG that I would buy and review. But besides the pickguard being swapped out, looks like they might have swapped your tip and maybe even swapped your knobs. $1,100 is a little bit on the high side, but it's still, you know, not grossly overpriced if you're really looking for one of those and you enjoy the modifications. Whoa! Is that one of the pink ones? Well, I guess this one's blood orange. It kind of looks like the pink one, though. I'm guessing that blood orange would look a lot better in person, because that one looks pretty sweet. The pink is, you know, kind of strange, but I like it because of how strange it is. I mean, you can see all these prices. I guess there's one for $16, but I would say Guitar Center / Musician's Friend has the best deal available on one of these. These were actually blown out in a Musician's Friend special, I think for like as low as $1,100 one time. It was like $1,100 or $13, and I was going to get it, but then they all sold out, and I was kind of sad about it because 2018, I believe, is when this one was made. Can't quite see it, but they did this unique little system back here where you don't actually have pickup rings. It looks so strange, and that's why I need to document one of these eventually. But you just install the pickups from the back, and then they have all those dip switches and stuff in there. Needless to say, they weren't the most popular guitars in the world. These SG Deluxe are kind of cool guitars. I mean, a lot of things have shared the name SG Deluxe, just like this thing, but now we need to go to the late 90s. There's been a lot of people asking me to review one of these. Looks like 3 Firebird type pickups. And is that black? Guitar Center. Why? I find it hard to believe that the Guitar Center tech saw this and was okay with it. What they've done is they've strung it up backwards. So literally, they don't even have to change the strings. They just have to reverse the windings of the pegs, and then it would not be bad. That's the thumbnail photo right there. Okay, so don't let that throw you off. But here's some of the other finishes. I think I would prefer to review the blue one. And to be completely honest, I don't think I've ever seen a black one for sale in a long time. That actually looks pretty nice all on its own. But we can see right here that it looks like the exact same guitar that Guitar Center has. Is it the exact same one? Maybe not, but I am learning something new today. So I knew about these guys, right? But look, they've got dot inlays. The black one gets small blocks. I think I've officially been converted. I need to find a black one because I prefer these types of inlays. They remind me of the early 70s SGs. How much do they want? Ooh, $16.99. That's more than I'm going to be able to pay. I've been waiting for one for like $800 or $900 because I figured I'd be selling it for around $12.50 or so because they're just kind of weird SGs. But now that I know that there's a super deluxe black one, I will be keeping my eye out for one of those for around $1,000, I'd say. I was kind of scared we weren't going to find anything to talk about today, but hey, so far we've been doing okay. So this is one of the 2018 Rocket Red Sparkles. Or is it not? It says orange sparkle, but yet our headstock looks heavily yellowed for a 2018. I don't think orange sparkle is the correct term because Guitar Center did 75 of these Rocket Red Sparkles and 75 of the Basalt Blues. Looks like somebody swapped in a TKL case. Occasionally you'll find these things on Reverb for about $3,000 or so. Not a crazy price, but if you don't get the original lift-in case, I would at least haggle down to $2,750. Those things are still kind of new, but once they age like 15, 20 years, I could see that run being slightly collectible. That's all I see on our first page. Let's see what's on page 2 here. Flying V Custom, $3,500. Not what I'm interested in today. There's a P90 Studio if you're looking for that. Those things are always pretty popular. Ooh, one of those 2018 SGs. That's the one that we reviewed with the fancy Gibson headstock. Looks like they finally marked down that ES5 even further. I think I remember talking about this one the last time. It looks nice. It's not a terrible price for a Crimson Division guitar. It's even got a nice flamed neck. It's just not a super popular model. The only other ones available I see are one in like 7,000, 6,000. There's a 4.5 that sold, another for 4. So it seems anywhere between like 4 to 5,000 with the natural maybe getting a slight premium. I don't think they're too far off of when that thing's gonna start to sell. And I'd say after looking at everything else here, I'm not seeing much on Guitar Center used right now. So we'll call this one the last one for this particular location. Looks like a ice blue. I like that finish, it's pretty cool. Let's see what Reverb has for us today. Just listed Melody Maker Explorer. Those tiny things are interesting. That's not a bad price right here. I'd love to see Gibson USA bring something similar to this back, where they do a special inlay, because what were they even thinking? Tiny little crescent moon inlays for the first year and a half only? It seems kind of strange looking back on it, but I think that was the introduction of the Faded series in 2002. So maybe they were going like a faded crescent moon or something? I don't know. There's probably a reason why they swapped them out, because most people probably thought they were too weird or something, but they've become highly collectible because of that. Oh, here's this all wood that I was looking at. I've come close a few times to getting this because it's essentially the one time that the Henry J era reissued the Les Paul, except for they completely destroyed it and just basically made it an overglorified studio. I honestly don't like these things, but there's a lot of people that do love them, so I'd like to at least give it a fair shot. Pretty much the only thing they did right, in my opinion, for the all wood title is they gave it wooden inlays here. But somebody's actually taken this one and did it extreme. So they actually swapped out the tuner tips to wood. You've got the original wooden backplates on here. At least they got that correct. But check this out. Wooden pickup covers? I didn't even know that was a thing, or even an option. And then they put wooden knobs on this, which should have been stock from the factory. Not sure how I feel about the top design. I would rather just see wood. But I do like the pick guard that they installed too. Kind of interesting. At least you have the original parts if you want to restore it back to original. These things seem to sell anywhere between like 19 all the way up to 3,000. I've turned quite a few of them down around the $2,100 price range, but I probably should have bought one at that point in time because there was like 6 or 7 of them on the market, so the prices kind of went down, but now they're more so fluctuating towards that 3,000. This is a listing that's always been interesting to me. They're claiming that these are the original Gibson pin router templates for the Birdland and 350T, like used back in the Kalamazoo plant. I'm not really sure how you 100,000% verify that is what these things are. I mean, anybody could have just made this. But it would be a piece of history if you could verify it all. I mean, anybody could just have this old picture of the Gibson factory. This guy says he got him as a gift from Jim Hutchins when he worked for him in his early 20s. I believe that's the guy who did the original map guitars, if I'm remembering correctly. I mean, that's a pretty good photo, but I mean, really, anybody could have that photo. I guess what he really needs is a photo of him today holding these things, and then maybe that would kind of close some of the gap. It definitely could be the original stuff. So if you need a piece of Gibson history, it's yours for about $2,000. But I've already been hunting Reverb pretty hard today. I don't think I've looked at eBay. What do we got going on? One of the USA Texans. Acoustic guitars just aren't that good on my channel. So I will do the casinos when those come out next year for the Epiphone USAs. I think that's an interesting series that they're doing. But as far as ending today, ooh, F25. Well, this one's kind of strange. It looks more so like an acoustic guitar instead of a classical. So maybe that's not what I'm remembering. Yeah, this is the one I was thinking of. So Gibson made classical guitars back in the early 60s. I'm not a super expert on them, but I have had a few. They're not the best guitars in the world, but they're kind of interesting because I love playing classical guitars, and what better way to play one than get one that has Gibson on the headstock. Not all of them actually say Gibson on the headstock though. But this one, it's like one of the more higher end models. You don't see these things show up too often. And this one was designed for flamenco playing. Ooh, that one even has the original case. But the flamenco ones get this style of pickguard on it. This could be a fun project for somebody depending on how much it goes for. Because it's the mini humbucker one. But since everything's been stripped off of it, because that's just what this guy does, I don't think you would have to be too sad about, just routing this out for full-size humbuckers if that's what you wanted to do. Ooh, looks like a headstock repair though. Yeah. Well, is it? Yeah. I'm kind of surprised it's been bid up quite that high, especially with that headstock repair. But I guess it's towards the end. It makes sense. I think anything under $600, I mean, if you have everything else and you just want a fun little project and everything else is solid, you don't really have to be scared to modify that one any further. And the other parts are here if you want them, like the original mini humbuckers. Ooh, this might not be a bad deal for somebody. Ends in 4 hours. So this is an AMS exclusive guitar. I think Zounds also sells them. So it looks like a regular Pelham Blue, right? But it's not. It's Inverness Green. So I bet this would look a little bit more green in person. But it looks like this one's on their restock shop. It's hard to tell if that's just finished checks or actual cracks. Because if they're cracks, you probably don't want it. But if it's finish checking, which is very common on Gibson metallic finishes, anything 900 or under, I think you're getting a good deal. Because I think these are, $14.99 brand new? Something like that? Oh, looks like they actually have them on sale for $13.99. Retailers really do not do enough to advertise their limited edition finishes. Like these guys get Inverness Green, and they also get Olive Drab Green. This is not Olive Drab Green, but they do get it on the Flying V and a few other ones like we discovered. And Sweetwater's actually got some pretty cool limited edition finishes themselves. I just ordered one of those from them today. We'll unbox it. I've already done the review for the particular model, but I thought we could check out the new color in an unboxing episode just for fun. But this, if somebody wants to send me a Christmas present, send me this. I would like to hang that up somewhere. I don't like it enough to buy it myself because they look awful. Like, they're just hilariously bad. How is this an officially licensed Gibson product? They look terrible. I mean, look at that doofy headstock. I give them props for getting the Kluson tuners, but the Kluson tuners would not be correct for that particular Les Paul Custom. But they're white, so it's kind of like snow. I could see myself hanging these doofy things up in my unboxing studio. I see them every year around Christmas time, but apparently they're like old 90s things. But yeah, even though they're just absolutely silly and atrocious looking, I want them. Because I think they come in sets of 10, so you could technically just buy a whole bunch of them whenever they do show up and just have weird little Les Paul customs all around your house. I think it'd be fun for some of the B-roll shots too. But I do not see anything else ending today, so let's switch over to recent eBay before we say goodbye today. Ooh, that's a nice one. Signed by Les Paul. People get so excited about that. He would sign any guitar that you handed to him. It does not add any premium at all, especially if he personalized it to you. Now, if it's just, hey, Les Paul signature, now sometimes that can be worth a little bit more. But these Music Rising guitars, they're really cool. There was a limited run where the Edge signed them, and those will sell for the 10,000 plus. Something as nice as this, I could still see it bring in $7,000. Now the ugly ones, you have a hard time selling those for even $4,000. Because the painting scheme on these were so random. Because essentially they just threw paint at these things. Some of them look fantastic with a great variety of colors. Other times they're really boring. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Custom Shop Green and Gold Sparkle never played, eh? That's definitely not a guitar for everyone, but I kind of like it. Like, I'm not in love by any means, but I think this would look way better in person because that's a huge metal flake. Like, this thing might blind you. I just wish it didn't have a black back, but that's how all those sparkly finishes are. So what is that? 245, so that makes it a 2007, which definitely puts us in the mid-2000s when super sparkly finishes were popular. And based on some leaks for the 2021 stuff, I think Gibson's bringing sparkle paints back. I just sure hope they figured out how to do them right. Usually these things are just littered with finish checks. So it says he bought it brand new in 2008. And he says this is the only one that he's ever seen like it. Yeah, that's okay, but somebody could custom order one tomorrow. So since it's not necessarily a limited run or anybody's actually looking for this guitar, that doesn't matter. Now, $2,500. That's a fair price if it doesn't get bid up too much more than that. Because this is a custom shop standard, so $25,000 to $3,000, fair game. Honestly, top of the market value, he's right there. This will sell, no doubt, on this auction. It'll sell, but how much will it sell for? I guess we'll have to find out. I would consider it for opening bid. The thing that keeps me from even putting bids in on guitars on eBay anymore is their annoying notifications. Anytime somebody outbids you, you get like 2 emails with inappropriate titles. Like, eBay, you need to work on this. Your title should not be, yes, please, it's time for 2011. No, that's spam. It's unprofessional. I hate it. Like, it would be one thing if that's when you won an item and it's like, yes, please, it's time to pay. You're getting it. But that's the title for the, you've been declined. It makes no sense. It's like an insult. And I know you can turn them off, but I do want some of them. I just don't want the email, the notifications on my phones, and 6 emails after that when somebody else also places a bid or when the darn thing ends. Same thing with the watch list. On Reverb, I like to add things to my watch list because I want to talk about them on a future Wiring episode. If you add something to your watch list on eBay, they're going to send you a million emails about it. I don't want that. All right, well, I think that's a good place to end our little hunt today. An eBay rant. Yes, please. It's time to say goodbye, troglodytes. We'll catch you tomorrow on the next episode. Take care.